Hello and welcome. European integration has become contested. People no longer take European integration for granted. People have become more critical of European policy and often seem to prefer local policy solutions in response to globalization problems. This has become clear from the rise of Eurosceptic parties in many EU member states, and is also reflected in the results of several referendums. Earlier, voters in the Netherlands said no to the association agreement with the Ukraine. In the UK, voters supported leaving the EU with a small margin. These developments make it important to clarify whether and how European policy is beneficial to you. So how do you experience EU policy? Does it provide you with benefits? And if not, how can we change this? This MOOC is about the fascinating process of European policy making and implementation. My name is Steunenberg. I will be your guide on our journey through the European policy process in which various actors are involved. I'm a professor at Leiden University and have done many studies on European decision making and implementation. Among the questions we are going to address are: how is European policy made and how is it implemented? What is the role of local and regional governments in this process? And how can we improve the effectiveness and efficiency of the European policy process? With these questions in mind, we will do our research of policy implementation in surroundings where you are, even when you are living outside the EU. We will also develop and discuss new ideas about how European policy should be made and implemented in the near future. This course helps you understand the main challenges of policy implementation as part of the broader European policy process. In addition, it introduces you to the main causes of policy failure or success by linking concrete cases with the main theoretical perspectives from the current literature. An important perspective is multi-level governance, which basically indicates that European policy making cuts through different levels of governance. European, national and subnational actors all play a role. In the decision-making process at the European level, the national ministries and ministers work together with the European institutions. Depending on the national arrangements, they also connect with their counterparts at the regional or local level. This makes multi-level governance an intriguing but complex interaction between actors, beliefs and ideas. An important point you should bear in mind is that the current literature is divided over what may affect policy implementation. There are several and sometimes competing explanations on why some member states do not comply with the requirements of EU policy and why public policy sometimes fails. These explanations are rooted in different theoretical approaches, from theories focusing on structural and institutional explanations to behavioral models. The MOOC will provide you the academic tools to study, analyze and understand policy implementation in a number of concrete policy cases. In the MOOC, we will work with leading cases you can choose. Depending on your choice, the more general insights on European policy making will be applied in the case you selected. So in the week in which we discuss decision making at the European level, your stream of modules will be supplemented with specific videos on your case. This includes explanations of European policy by experts. The cases available in this MOOC are labour mobility in the EU and clean air policy. Each of these cases reveals some tension between general principles or goals, which makes these dossiers very interesting. In the case of labour mobility in the EU, we focus on Europeans moving to another EU member state and the posting of workers. In this dossier, there are tensions between solidarity and the financial feasibility of national welfare systems. In the case of European clean air policy, it appears that car emissions are a main source why the standards set by this policy are not always achieved. Therefore, in this dossier, there is an important tension between public health and individual car mobility and the possibilities and difficulties of reducing car emissions. We conclude our MOOC with a discussion on possible ways of improving policy implementation in the EU. You can contribute to this discussion by proposing a different way of making or implementing EU policy. How can we make sure that European policy delivers to you? How can we change an existing policy? And how will policy fit better your personal needs, including changing the level at which policy is made? With the discussion, I hope we will develop other and new ways of making European policy in the near future. I'm very curious about your opinion.